to gently deepen your breath. Create a complete breath so that you're breathing into the front of the body, the back of the body, sides of the body. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. Drawing your knees to your chest is a really simple way to stretch the glutes, the back of the hips, especially when you keep your hips down, your tailbone heavy. And then I'd like you to move your knees away from one another, similar to Happy Baby pose, and draw your knees in towards your armpits. And you can rock a little side to side. The nervous system loves rocking, loves a little bit of oscillation. Then bring the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Wrap your hands either behind the thighs, at the ankles, or maybe on the very edges of the feet. So start with behind the thighs if you need to. Keep the knees bent and rock a little bit side to side. Keep drawing the knees in towards the armpits so that you're getting the upper fibers, all the muscles that attach to the glutes, to the hips. And then I'm turning this way for a reason. So from this Happy Baby pose, or something similar, I want you to stretch your right leg straight out to the side so your legs look like a check mark. Make your right leg really active, so you're pressing through the ball mound of the foot, spreading your toes. Make your left leg also really active, but keep it more in Happy Baby pose. And draw your right knee back in, and bring the right knee to half Happy Baby pose as you bring your left leg out. Strong line of energy out through your left leg. Spread your toes, press through the ball mound of the foot. Really energize through that leg so that your legs look like a check mark. Good, and then come back to center and set your left foot down to the floor, catch behind your right thigh, and bend and straighten your right leg a few times. So activating and curling your toes back towards your eye will help you to feel this a little more along the whole back side of the leg. And then straighten the leg, and you can either grab your strap and place it around the sole of the foot and straighten the leg up towards the ceiling, or you can have your hand wherever it lands on the leg, whatever's most comfortable for you. We start with the second knee bent because that's going to help us to keep the pelvis nice and neutral on the floor. And then, once you have your hamstring stretch in the right leg, bring your right thumb into the hip crease here, push the right hip gently away, and stretch your left leg out on the floor. That's going to kind of stabilize your hip, your pelvis with the right thumb, with the right hand, and you're going to feel a deeper stretch once you let the left leg go out. Gorgeous. Even here, you can gas pedal your foot a few times, meaning point it up towards the sky and curl the toes back towards your eyes. This will help get the nerves in the back of the leg gliding through more thoroughly. So if it feels zingy at all, that explains the nerve sensation. But it also is great for the muscles. When you contract a muscle, which we're doing when you press the ball mount to the sky, you're getting a contraction along the muscles of the calf. And as you relax them, that's the moment in which they have the most capacity to stretch, to release. Good, let's do one more thing here. You're going to switch the strap back into your right hand and just keep your right hip down. Bend your knee a little bit and start to spin your toes out to the side. So I want you to spin like your foot's on a clock and you're spinning towards 2 o'clock on the dial. Draw your right knee a little bit over towards your right elbow and straighten it just a little bit. Keep the toes pointing a bit towards the ground, knee down towards the elbow, and then straighten it just a little bit. and knee towards the elbow, straighten it a little bit. This more pulsing, spunda-filled way of practicing the hamstring stretches is going to be nicer to the muscles and less possible to irritate them. Let's do about 3 or 4 more, keeping the leg out to the side. This is known as Supta Hasta Padangusthasana B.
I have a bone spur here, so it feels like my lower back.
Please draw the leg right back to center. Excellent. And hug both knees towards your chest. Just both knees into your chest. This is Apanasana. You're going to set your right foot flat to the floor. Catch your hand behind the left thigh and start to bend and straighten your left leg. So I want your toes to be involved in this. Toes curling back towards the eye, knee bending and straightening. And just do this until you feel like the back of your leg is kind of warm. Then you're going to grab your strap, place it around the ball mound of your foot, or keep your hand on your calf and enjoy. You can add just the foot now, just the gas pedal alone, to contract and relax gastrocnemius, the muscle along the back of the calf. Good, and then bring your left thumb right into that hip crease and press the hip away, and strap is in the opposite hand. So you're going to really straighten your right leg out while keeping the left hip down, down, down. It's almost like you're sitting on something with that left sitting bone. Activate both legs fully, fully, fully. And then start to spin your toes out a little bit. Bend your knee, and bend your knee in the direction of your left elbow. So your toes have now spun out towards 10 o'clock on the dial, maybe 10:30, and bend your knee. You're externally rotating at the hip. You're bending the knee, bringing the knee towards the elbow, bending and straightening, and then keeping the knee a little bit straighter. Flex and point your foot. And this is our Supta Hasta Padangusthasana B. So Supta means lying on your back. Hasta means hand, pada, 2 foot, Gusthasana B. So here we are, this is the B version, straight up to the sky is the A version. And this is a really nice, gentle way to get in touch with your hamstrings. Make sure your knee is pointing down towards the floor, towards your left elbow, and that your thigh is angled out to the side a little bit. So we're trying to get the innermost hamstrings and a little bit of the inner thigh, your adductor muscles. Good, and let's just do a little bit more. Maybe finding a nice long hold, but active through the leg, activating the muscles. Gorgeous, you guys. Draw back to center. Set your strap to the side. Don't worry about the strap for the moment. Bring your knees back in towards half happy baby, and take your hands to the inner thighs. I don't have a whole lot of room here, but you're going to open your legs out to big V for victory. Excellent. Draw your knees in and set your feet flat to the floor. I like to start with a little bit of core work in many of my classes. So feet flat to the floor, hands to the belly, draw the belly in on your exhale. then reach your right leg straight up to the sky now that our hamstrings have a little bit of freedom to them. Now I want you to keep your pelvis and this whole core region, specifically the top hip points to the low ribs, stable and essentially unmoving as you draw a big circle with the right leg in the sky. So 3 clockwise, 3 counterclockwise, or vice versa. And then draw the knee back in, set your foot flat, take a deep breath. Exhale, scoop up the belly like you're zipping up, and reach your left leg straight up and down to the sky. The circumference of the circle is such that your left leg can go to about 45 degrees from the floor, and then back up. Stay stable in your core. You want the pelvis in particular to not wiggle side to side. This just takes a little bit of mental effort and a little bit of slowness. After 3 rounds in one direction, try 3 rounds in the other direction. Good. And draw your knee right back in. Bring your shins to parallel to the floor and knees perpendicular. Now holding this is already pretty tricky for many of us. And I want you to imagine you're squeezing something between your knees. Keep the feet a little bit apart from one another. Scoop your belly again, and either stay here if you're challenged by this 90-degree shape, or stretch one leg out, deep breath. Draw it back in, scoop the belly, stretch the other leg out, again to about 45 degrees from the floor, and draw it back in. Right leg out, or first leg, whichever was your first leg. See if you can hold the stability and draw a little tiny circle in space. Your leg is at about 45 degrees from the floor, so it's past where your bent leg foot is. Switch directions with the circle, scooping, feeling all that muscular effort, drawing right back in, and take it to the other side. Exhale. Again, you can hold. You can always take your feet down to the ground and do the same thing, or you can stay in the 90-degree position. Other side, we're going to do these little saucers or pie plate sized circles. Really stay solid through the belly. Switch directions with your circle. And then draw the knees back in. This time, open your knees to a diamond shape. Reach between the legs, grab hold of the ankles maybe, or the shins, and rock a little bit side to side. Excellent, you guys. Draw your knees back together, rock to your side, and push up to a comfortable seat. Let's just spend a moment in seated, and I'd like you to take the leg in front that is your non-typical leg. So we all have a leg that we habitually put in front, but it's a good idea to take the other one in front every now and then. Bring your hands to your shins or wherever they land on your lap, and please feel free to use your block or your blanket to sit on as needed. I'm going to use a block right here. So inhale, send your belly forward, squeeze your shoulder blades back, get a nice big back bend going on. So this is one of the 6 movements of the spine. And exhale, round everything to the back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale to neutral. And this time walk your hand over to the right, walk your right hand out over to the right. Keep your left arm up and lean over. You're going to take a couple of deep breaths into the side ribs. So I want you to feel how the ribs have a bucket handle motion. As you inhale, they broaden like the gills of a fish. And as you exhale, they soften a little bit. Inhale, broaden and reach. You can reach forward if you prefer. And rise it right back up. Let's take it to the other side. So left hand walks out, right arm by the ear. A nice long line and lean over. Full breath in. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. We're going to reach your top arm forward just a little bit. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Feel the gills of your ribs open up. And exhale back to neutral. Bring your arms to cactus arms. And then spin, and you're spinning from the muscles that stabilize the torso. So your obliques, your rotatories, all these tiny muscles that stabilize the spine. And turn towards one side. So if you turn towards your right, you're going to look out over your right shoulder. You can feel the muscles along the shoulder blades working as well. Make a little bit of a double chin. So you're dropping your chin down, gliding your ears back over your shoulders, and then see if that allows you to turn a little more towards the right. Inhale to center. Relax your arms for a second. And then let's take it right back into cactus arms. And spin to the left. So let your belly muscles take you, let the muscles around your ribs take you over to the left. Draw your chin back, ears over shoulders, and then start to spin your gaze to the left. You won't go as far, obviously, this twist, as you would if you were using your arm to deepen the twist. But what you're doing is creating a lot of stability right around the spine. Inhale, back to center. Come on to hands and knees, please. Use your blanket if you'd like for a cushion under your hands and knees. Or under your knees, rather. So spread your fingers really, really wide and reach your right leg up behind you. Speaking of stability, we're going to spend a moment here pressing this leg back, zipping up through the belly, pushing the right hand down to the ground, and then reaching left arm up in front. Full breath in. Back of the neck long, gaze is down. And exhale, left hand down. Lower the right foot down to the floor and just press back. Yeah, just curl your toes under and press back. This you might feel more in the calf. And then draw the knee in. Sweep your left leg up. And remember, we're starting shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Left leg up. Squeeze everything to the midline. Zip up through the middle. And reach your right arm up forward. So left hand is pressing down. Inner thigh lifts of your back leg. Back of the neck long. Keep your gaze steady. Notice your breath. Notice if you're holding your breath. Float the back leg up just a little more without compromising integrity of the core. Lower the hand. And then lower just your toes, pressing back through your heel. Feel the calf open in the back of the leg, firming your quads, that's the front thigh muscles, to open up the back of the knee. This is the place, since we're on hands and knees, where you start to really pay attention to what's going on with your hands. And as we bring the knee back down, I want you to look for a moment that the base of all of your fingers, especially the base of your first finger, is really rooted in the floor. You can walk your hands forward about one hand's distance, curl all 10 toes under, and then reach back for a moment with your hips so that your hands are still in that rooted position at the base of the fingers, and then rise up to downward facing dog. So of course, in down dog, you have a big hamstring stretch. Your fingers are really rooted into the floor. The entire circumference of your palm is really rooted down, especially the base of that first finger right there. Good. Reach the hips high, up and back. Shake out your head a little. And we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. If your blanket's in the middle of your mat, feel free to move it away. Once you get to the back of your mat, give yourself hip distance or a little wider between your feet. Bend your knees. catch a hold of your elbows. Shake out your head, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Nod it up and down. And then shift your weight a little side to side so that your upper body sways and one knee bends really deeply and the other knee bends really deeply. But don't let anything go fully straight here in terms of your legs. Awesome. So rest your fingertips now on your shins and then inhale, rise halfway up. Deep breath in, back of the neck long. There's an energy of leaning into the front of your foot. It almost feels like you're coming onto your tiptoes or like you're falling forward, but try that out. And then exhale, bend your knees, set your hands, and walk it all the way back to downward facing dog. Curl your fingers into the floor. Look at your feet. Check that the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the sides of the yoga mat and parallel with each other. So it's going to feel like your toes are turned in just the tiniest bit. That will open up the inner thighs all the way up to the hips. And then from here, bring your toes to touch. We're going to come forward in a really funky way. So I want you to cross one ankle in front of the other. Actually cross as high up the thigh as you can cross. And then take the other leg in front. It's like you're braiding your legs. First leg. Second leg. Slowly make your way to the top of the yoga mat. And as they say, feel all the feels so that you can really go slowly and appreciate anything that's opening in the backs of your legs. Make your way to the front 20% or so of your yoga mat. Have your feet hip distance again. And bend your knees again. So this is the best way to create length in your spine and to not yank on your hamstrings as much. On your inhale, rest your fingers on your shin, lift your chest. And on your exhale, belly in and shake your head. Left and right, nod it up and down. Open your arms really wide. Rise up to stand, palms together overhead and over your heart. Good, so come into Tadasana at the front of the mat, mountain pose. And of course we are going to be rooting through all four corners of the feet, the base of the big toes and the inner and outer heels. You might have to pay extra attention to the base of the big toes and also to a sense of shortening the inside of the foot so that you're really drawing in energy up from the arches. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, bend your knees to fold in half. Grab your blocks and have them towards the front of your yoga mat. And inhale, halfway up. Please exhale, hands to the blocks, right to the back of the mat. Press that heel back. Bend your left knee so the shin is vertical. And then inhale, rise up into crescent lunge. Look up between your hands if you feel steady. Arms can be open or palms together. Good. Super strong, lifted heart. Exhale, hands back down to the blocks. Step your back foot to the front. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, left foot to the back. Bend through your front knee. Straighten your back leg. Scoop through the belly and inhale, rise up. So crescent lunge. Low ribs are drawn in, back leg super strong. You're going to feel this on the sides of each hip. Excellent. Hands down to the floor. Step your back foot to the front. Inhale, halfway up. And please step your right foot just 2/3 of the way back. Turn your heel down and toe out. You have almost heel-to-heel alignment. I'm totally fine if your right foot is closer to the right edge of the yoga mat, left foot closer to the left edge. Straighten your front leg, bringing your hands to your hips. Rise up. Interlace your fingers, paying attention to which thumb is on top. Squeeze your shoulder blades back, glide your knuckles down, lift your chest. And then keeping the front knee nice and straight. Exhale, hands to the front thigh. Walk yourself down the leg. You can
can stay here, meaning hands on your shins or on your knee, straightening your front leg, or if it's within easy reach, place your hands on the tall blocks. The energy of this pose is left hip pulling back, front thigh really straightening, so your quads are really working, and outer right ribs rooting down. You can do the same exact thing here that we did earlier on our back. If you're finding that it's impossible to straighten your front knee, you can bend and straighten your front knee a couple of times. Great. And then set your blocks forward a little bit. Step your back foot to the front. And switch sides. So left foot goes to the back. Set your feet up in a way that will help you stay balanced. It's a little easier the closer your right foot is to the right side of the mat, left foot to the left side. Please bring your hands to your hips and rise up. The energy of the pose, again, is squaring the hips, straightening the front leg. So firm, lift your kneecap, float your chest, interlace your fingers, and please take the opposite thumb on top this time. That same energy I spoke of for the lifting of the arch of the foot in Tadasana, it really is relevant with the back foot here. So try to lift the arch of the back foot, and then keep that lift as you float your chest to the ceiling, knuckles down the back leg. Exhale, and please walk your hands down your front leg. You're pulling the hip back just like we did when we were on our backs, and then walking your hands maybe to the shin or to the blocks. Now, if you have the blocks, I recommend bringing them right under the shoulders and focusing on pulling the front hip back a little bit more, scooping the belly in a little bit more so that you get more integrity along the spine, more stability, and rooting at the base of the front foot, big toe. Full breath. Really firm your front leg, and then step your back foot to the front. You can walk your blocks a little bit forward. Inhale halfway, and exhale, wiggle your feet apart, bend your knees, and fold in half a bit. Shake out your head, nod it up and down. Gorgeous. So, left foot stays forward, right foot's going to take a big leap to the back. Let's open up into warrior two. Bending and straightening your front knee. Now, in warrior two, your distance front to back is usually bigger than in pyramid or even bigger than in the lunge that we did a moment ago. I want you to have your hands on your hips and keep bending and straightening your front knee. As you do this, look that your big toe is visible on the inside of your front knee. That's going to tell you that your thigh bone is aligned with your middle toe. Scoop your belly, draw the low ribs back, and then float your arms, palms up this time. Yeah. Lean into the back arm, keeping the legs as they are. So this will strengthen the legs. Lower the back hand, your right hand, lightly under your back leg. Dancing warrior. Full breath, side bend, just like we did earlier. And then elbow to front knee. Park it here, palm up. Scoop through the belly and reach your right arm by your ear. Dropping your hips as you do this. Activating the back inner arch and feeling that stability of the core. Rotate around the central axis. So go ahead with the elbow that's on your knee. Try to pull it back just a little bit so you get a bit of an inner thigh opening. Excellent, you guys. Please inhale drop down into warrior two. Bend and straighten your front knee a bunch of times. Hands are going to be on the hips. Float your arms up once you're settled, making sure you can see your big toe. And then lean into your back arm. Arch is lifting. Find your way into dancing warrior. Deep breath here, side body breath. And exhale, elbow to your knee. So this is where you're going to turn your palm up, push, and reach your top arm by the ear. So inside a side angle, there's a lot going on. It's really easy to kind of stick your butt out here and stick your ribs forward. So there's an energy of drawing under, scooping your front hip points up, drawing your low ribs back, and gently pushing your elbow back. Good, exhale, take your hands to the floor. Step your back foot to the front, and step your right foot to the back again. This time, don't rise up, just pull your left thumb into the left hip crease. Reach the heart forward. And then this time in pyramid pose, we're going to start to fold forward over the front leg. Shake your head out. Maybe bring your hands to the blocks in the lower position, maybe even all the way to the floor, depending on your body and the day. You can also bend and straighten your front knee a few times here and keep a solid energy down the back leg. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lower the back knee all the way to the floor. Feel free to put your hands back on the blocks. And straighten your front leg out, curling your toes back towards your eyes. So you're going to adjust so that you can really curl your toes back and get active in the front leg. Walk your hands back to where under the shoulders. Yeah. And straighten the front leg as much as you can. If you need to put your hands in the blocks in the tall position, go for it. So the idea is that you're going to straighten the front leg, push the thigh down using this muscle here rather than your hand, and lift your heart up. Get into the tiniest bit of a back bend, energy of a back bend. Great, bring both hands to the inside of your front foot. And keep the toes pointing towards the ceiling and start to pivot on your back knee just a little bit, like maybe 30, 45 degrees, so that you're now opening up the inner thigh a little bit. Yeah, and you can cushion your knee with the blanket, of course, here. We can do one more thing here. We got to pivot all the way to the side, and blocks can be, one block can come in handy. So coming into gate pose, start to spin your heart forward towards the long edge of your yoga mat, and either left hand on the block, on the low block, maybe on the floor. Right arm reaches overhead. Firm this stretched out leg in front of you. Scoop your belly, reach back. One more breath. And then exhale, gather your blocks. Bend through your front knee. Square yourself out towards the front of the yoga mat again. Curl your back toes under. Step it forward, and then step back. Let's start with pyramid pose again. So a little bit of a short stance between your feet. And instead of rising up this time, we're just going to fold forward. So right thumb into the right hip crease. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, and lower. Shake out your head. Feel free to bend and straighten your front knee as needed. Keep the energy of activation in the back foot. Pull the back through the right hip gently. And then exhale and slowly hands to the blocks again. If you took them off, lower your back knee down to the blanket or to the yoga mat. You're going to straighten your front leg. Wiggle it out in front of you. Curl your toes back towards the eyes. And then activate your quad. Firming your toes back. Float your heart. Come into the littlest bit of a back bend. The energy of a back bend here. Feel free to wiggle just a bit. Option to move your blocks to one of the lower positions. And then please move your blocks to the inside of this front leg. Just a little bit and start to pivot on your back knee. So move through sensation, bending and straightening as needed. You can pivot all the way to 90 degrees. Keeping the right hands down on the block or on the floor, swooping the left arm up and over. One more full breath. And then exhale, hands to the blocks. Wiggle forward, step your front foot back. Let your knees go a little bit apart from one another and take it down to child's pose. You can stack your fists. You can use your block under your forehead. You can stack your hands, or you can rest your face on the yoga mat. Take a full breath in child's pose. And then walk your hands back towards either side of your knees. Inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly rise up. Good. Cross at the ankles. Sweep your legs out in front of you. And wiggle your hips to the middle of your yoga mat. Have your strap within arm's reach again. And we're going to lower down to your mat, either using your elbows or using the strength of your core. Draw your right knee in, sweep the strap around the ball mound of the right foot. Straighten your left leg out and straighten your right leg to the sky. Notice if there's any difference from the beginning of the practice to now. We're also going to go into Supta Hasta Padangusthasana B. So bend your knee towards your right elbow, and then straighten your leg out towards the side. And then just notice any difference, beginning to end of practice. Good. For good measure, draw the knee back in and take a really gentle cross-body twist. Option to keep the strap on the leg, or just to bend your top knee and track it across the body. Turn to look towards the right. Inhale, chin to center, knee to center. Draw both knees in, let the strap rest to the side. And then grab the strap, place around the left foot. Noticing any difference from the beginning of the practice to now. Turn your toes out a little bit, bend your knee towards your left elbow, sweeping the left leg out to the side, Supta Hasta Padangusthasana B. Notice any difference between the beginning of the practice to now. And then draw the leg across your body, with or without the strap,
Inhale to drive your chin to center, knees to center, releasing the stress completely to the side. Rock a little side to side and land yourself in Shavasana, legs straight, or knees bent, feet flat, wide apart from one another. Let your knees rock in and one another. Close your eyes. Become aware of the muscles of your face. Focus your attention on your breath. Allow your bones to be heavy. Allow your muscles to drape over the bones. Let the skin be like a heavy blanket over the muscles. Notice your mind wandering. Simply bring it back to the breath. Become aware of your breath again. Taking a deep breath in, letting out any sighs within you. Start to wiggle your fingers, start to wiggle your toes. Stretch long through the limbs. And slowly draw your knees one at a time towards your chest. Rocking gently side to side. Rocking and landing on your right side. Pressing up to a comfortable seat. Bring our palms down over the heart. There is a mantra from the Buddhist tradition, Om Mani Padme Hum, which means the diamond in the lotus of our hearts. Let us be in recognition and remembrance of the brilliance, the self-illuminated diamond at the core of our lotus, the many-petaled, complicated flower, beauty that arises from the mud, that dwells within the chamber of the heart. When we remember our own light, it is easier to see that in others. Let's press your palms together. Om Mani Padme Hum.
Join our voices in one round of full breath.